All right, greetings, Twitch fans, and welcome back for another day of King of the C5 here on Twitch. I am C Raptor, your host for the moment. I'm here with Lord Zath. Zath, how you doing today, buddy?
Oh, fine, fine. God, I love watching that video. It's a great way to warm up for what we're about to see today.
Yeah, man, there's some good stuff in there. I love my personal favorite moment, whole video, the Montana double kill, right, where he goes broadside, he wastes the one Montana and rams the Kerr first. Trade one battleship for two. Love it.
Yeah, that was definitely nice. I mean, there's so many good moments. I think my favorite is when the Grozervoy outruns the Midway Torps.
That was hilarious, and I think what was more funny was listening to Quad's voice. He's like, "Wait, no, he's faster than the torpedoes." Like he didn't believe it. Like, so funny.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thanks to WG for putting out that little snippet of all the different games across both servers. We're here today, of course, for the North American quarterfinals. Zath and I will be bringing you SF's Kraken Jackers team versus Devastating Strike here in a few minutes. But before we get too far down the road, let's have a quick look at what the EU guys have been up to over the last 12 hours. The EU bracket is now basically over and done. Their quarter and semifinals rounds were all this morning about North America time, and their finals bracket is now set. Omni surviving a very tough challenge from TWA there in the semifinals to move on to their third or fourth final game, I think, in King of the Sea tournament play in EU. And WGP2W, by the way, I love the clan name. We have to do some research on these guys. Has also moved up to there. They would play in the finals versus Alliance and Total War Alliance. Go figure that one. In the bronze match next week. Did you get to catch any of these games, Zath?
Unfortunately, no. I like to sleep.
I don't blame you. I was up early enough, or I've slept in late enough. I suppose I only caught the last couple of games of the TWA Omni semifinal match, and it was a good one. TWA won game one. Omni came back, took a 2-1 lead. TWA forced game 5 by picking up game 4, and then they had a lead in game 5, and it just Omni's patient, methodical, rotating destroyers, cap control. It just TWA was not able to outlast them in the end, and it worked out. So Omni going on.
You know what
All
surprises
right.
me is just seeing the sheer number of teams on this bracket. I mean, I thought it was cool seeing so many NA teams, but there's just such a diversity here. So many different play styles, so many different ways to win. And yeah, if you guys have a chance, check out some of those broadcasts.
Right. Well, the EU fielded a full 64 teams in their bracket. So they started with 64, whereas here on NA we started with 47 in the group stage. So we had a few fewer teams, but of course, once you get to the elimination stages, it all pairs down relatively quickly. Speaking
Sure.
of which, let's put up the NA bracket here. So here's where we start the day, sports fans. 8 teams remain out of the 47 that started here on North America. Match 17, I should be also probably has just started over on Quadrillus's channel, PSV and OPG. That's going to be a solid game, man. Those two teams know each other from and clan battles. Tough fight there. Cuter and MAIC and the other team in that bracket. One of them will be moving on. Quality Potatoes and ZR, both teams that we've casted over the course of the tournament, both looking very good up to this point. And then, of course, at the bottom of the bracket, SF's Kraken Jackers team, who we're both very familiar with from seasons of Supremacy League, and somewhat newcomers, 07 Devastating Strike.
Yeah, and for those of you guys who are new to all this, basically, what we're going to see now is figuring out who's going to essentially advance and go into next weekend. So the stakes are incredibly high, and I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of very conservative play on the part of both teams, not willing to be the first to make a mistake and take their team down.
Yep. So for those of you that aren't familiar, we'll real briefly. The round 3 here that you're about to watch here in just a few minutes is indeed a best of 3, the same that we've been showing you the rest of the tournament up to this stage. The semifinals, however, are a best of 5. And starting with the semifinal round, each team, the map selection is done in a very specific way. Each team takes the existing map pool, they pick a map, and they ban it outright. It's not allowed to be played. And then One of the teams picks, each of the teams picks 2 maps. There's a sequence to these things, and then whichever team doesn't pick the map chooses which spawn they want, whether that's north, south, east, west, however, depending on the map. And then the 5th map is the remaining map of those not chosen. In other words, whichever one wasn't banned and hasn't been chosen up to that point, by default becomes the 5th map. And then I'm not sure how they pick spawns on that one. It might be a coin toss or something. But anyways, so for starters, you're going to see best of 3 the way you have been, and then we're going to be moving on to best of 5 for the semifinal brackets in about 2 hours or so.
Right, which means that we're going to be on a little bit later than yesterday.
More than likely. Now, as you can see here, we're starting on Warriors Path. No, Sea of Fortune. Apologies, Sea of Fortune. And so Zath, we'll be able to use our Eries to get that one going, and then we'll need carriers for the other 2 matches in this in the semifinal round here.
Right.
So the room is up. I'm going to go ahead and pop over there, and let's see. Yep, room is up. Rhino MK2 is your host.
Righto. And this is going to be kind of interesting. One of the key members of SF is no longer playing with SF. That would be Anumati, who was the carrier player.
Their veteran carrier from many seasons, although, where is he then? Wait.
He's on the 07 side.
Wow. Somehow I missed that. That is interesting news. When did
Yeah.
that happen?
You'd have to ask him.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I would not have called that.
I'm sure the SF players are looking forward to some potential payback, but that also means that Anumati is kind of telling his team probably how they operate, and he's got a lot of insider knowledge. Are we ready, Sea Raptor?
We are. We just need to be placed, right?
Yep, I told them to go ahead and hold off placing us until we were both ready, so...
Okay. All right, so we got 60 seconds or so as the game loads here. We'll put the bracket up real fast. I want your predictions for each one. Here we go. PSV, OPG, call it.
I want to see PSV.
Okay. 2-1, 2-0.
2-1. It's going to be a tough one. All of these are going to be really tough. They're hard to call.
Well, we're already on the opposite sides of that one. I'm going with OPG 2-1. MIAC and Cuter.
Gotta go MIAC. 2-1.
Okay. Making notes here.
What are you doing?
I'm actually going to go Cuter. We picked against Cuter yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think that was a mistake. I'm going to go with them today. QP and ZR.
ZR 2-0.
I'm with you on that one, actually. So we're in lockstep there.
Mm.
And then now the most important one, the match we're about to cast, SF and 07.
Yeah, that's so tough. I would normally say SF, but knowing that Anumati's on the other side, knows their tactics, knows their style, that's going to be tough. I'm still going to go with SF, but it's going to be a 2-1.
You have echoed my memory. I already have that written down for me. I like the Devastating Strike guys. I know how good they are. We've seen them points, clan battles and ranked play and what not. But the trick is this, right? I just feel like SF's experience is going to win out here. SF is like 3 or 4 time victors of Warships Supremacy League Gold Division. We know they have plenty of clan battles experience under their belts. I just feel like experience is going to win out here. I feel like 07 is certainly good enough to pick up a game, but we're going to see what happens.
Absolutely.
All right. The ramming commences.
And I promise to ram you properly this time. No funny business.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, so talking team comp, 07 has gone triple Destroyer, triple Grozavoy. That's the first time we've seen that this tournament. Double Montana, Des Moines, Hindenburg. Not too shocking there. And Anumati bringing a midway. In fact, both carriers midways. I'm not sure we've seen this before.
We have yet to see that. We've seen a lot of Hakuryu midway lineups and a bunch of Hakuryu lineups. Now the SF side, double Montana and triple Hindenburg, Moskva, Geary, and Grozovoy. So you can see there's a lot of carryover, at least in my opinion, from clan battles here. And
Yeah,
thinking about the
Hindenburg.
Yep, exactly. With that Moskva for vision.
07 here taking their triple destroyer, and I won't say they're aggressively pushing each cap, but they have stationed one to the north of each cap here. It looks as if the Potato 69's Grozovoy is going to swing wide of the island north of A, not willing to risk going in just yet against a midway. MF Jones moving down towards the north of B, backed up in close quarters by Timmy G's Des Moines. And Pullakat's Grozovoy far to the north of C, leading Caliber's Hindenburg and William the Dank's Montana.
How about that torpedo bomber squadron that Rhino just took out by himself with defensive fire? He just saw that, he got spotted, he said, "Away with you," and that was it.
I did not catch that. I was busy looking at my team here.
And that's
wow.
We've been talking about this for the past couple weeks now, right? You know, SF always doing maximum anti-air builds, and we can see that paying off right here.
Absolutely. Well, they understand the value of spotting and what do planes do in this format. They're spotters, right? They're forward spotters. They were trying to get eyes on Rhino, but his defensive fire must have still been active as he wipes out that fighter squadron to go along with the torpedo squadron, racking up the plane kills early.
Yeah, and that's huge vision advantage, and Merrill's got to say, I love seeing him. He's in A right now with the school bus camo, taking these guys back to school.
Haha, nice. Well, we know that Rhino's into C. There he is, taking about 25% damage on the bottom end of the cap, backing off. Not sure how he spot. Oh, Des Moines radar. Yep, Timmy G's got him radared there from his position north of B. So they force Rhino out of the cap.
That's interesting to see. Rhino takes so much damage so quickly there. This is definitely not the Benson he's used to playing in competitive.
Very much not. Merrill's takes a bit of a reset there, taking some shell fire in A, resetting his cap point. As MF Jones reverses into the very, very northern edge of B cap, knowing now where the SF destroyers are, he decides that he's time to contest that one.
Well, and Pink Assassin is basically on the opposite corner of the island from Timmy, and they're both just kind of glaring at each other with their radars.
Yeah, but Pink is under a lot of pressure right now. He's already at about half health.
Yes, he is.
He's got a Hindenburg and a Montana throwing shells at his bow.
And, yeah, Hindenburg, I think it's Caliber all the way on the other side, just raining shells over the island, forcing Pink to go forward.
Yep, they've got 2 or 3 really good angles on Pink right now. Caliber, you can see him there on the left side of your screen, raining shells into Pink's broadside as the Hindenburg up north here.
He's in trouble. I think he's going down.
He's certainly under a tremendous amount of pressure. I'm not sure they're going to get him quite this soon. He needs to go dark, but you can see there from Anumati's torpedo bombers going in, they realize the value of keeping spots on him. Anumati throws a torpedo. One
Very
surviving
cheeky.
Torpedo.
One lone torpedo.
And you know what? Oh, this might hit.
Nope.
Pink Assassin. Nope. Pink's going to dodge it. Ooh, well done.
Insert
He's
torpedo
still very
music.
low. Yep. While
Yeah,
that's all been going on, of course, Merrill's picks up A as MF Jones picks up B.
I'd like to see Merrill's trying to smoke him. I mean, he needs to disappear. Otherwise, he's gone.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, you can see there V12 working excellent work there with his fighters to finally get that Moskva unspotted, but he's lit again. Yep, on 3,000 health now. They've got him spotted again from that fighter squadron over B. More shells continue to pour in on Pink Assassin here. With only 5 minutes to play, he may be out. There he goes.
It is.
First kill of the game going to 07 here on Sea of Fortune.
That's tough. And Moskva is such a hard ship to play in this kind of environment. You have to find the right island, the exact right position. Otherwise, you're gone.
Absolutely.
As
Well, Pullacat. Go ahead.
I was going to say, the Des Moines over there, Timmy, now in the cover of smoke, so their 07 is not going to allow the same thing to happen to the Des Moines that happened just now to the Moskva.
Very much so. Pullacat had ducked into C, had quite a chunk of cap points, but something convinced him to leave. He's about to reverse back in and restart that process.
Yep. And he's just disappeared. However, Rhino's sending some torpedoes his way as Rhino takes some torpedoes into the smoke.
Yep, smoke. Torpedoes going into Rhino's smoke there. Is he going to dodge all?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Pullicat continuing to camp that corner of C, but he's got a torpedo strike coming in he hasn't seen yet. As Merrills moves into B very aggressively here. Ooh, Pullicat spotted the torpedoes now. He's turned his engines on. I think he's going to eat one. Yep, take one in the bow.
Wink.
Ooh, that leaves Pullicat very low. Merrills, though, has staked out a spot on B that makes him virtually impossible to hit. I love that yellow camo. That's hilarious.
You're seeing him schooling them now?
That's right. That was awesome. Pigeon of War approves this use of school bus camo.
Yep. I noticed, too, all the SF3 guys are... Nope, never mind. A bunch of them, at least, are wearing their Supremacy League Season 4 Champions flag to remind the enemy of their position.
Timmy just took a big hit through the bow from Achilles down over on the 8 line. Timmy needs some smoke again, but I don't think the Grozavoy smoke is up. I think Timmy's on his own.
Yeah. He's not
Merrill's
spotted,
picking
though.
up B. Oh, good. He's gone dark again. All right.
Here come the torp bombers.
Pullicat has basically retreated north of C, realizing he can't risk his ship for the cap anymore.
Yeah, Timmy just got spotted. Took some
on
hits.
Merrills now. Merrill's going to take, almost taking one in the bow, but it just sneaks in front of him. Here comes the other strike as his DF continues to churn. Anumati swinging those bombers wide, trying to land at least one or two of these torpedo hits. If nothing else is going to force him out of cover.
One. Nope. Yeah.
Yep, he takes one just barely on about 6,000 HP now as Timmy has turned his guns. Timmy on 2,000 HP himself and spotted in smoke, probably very, very vulnerable, probably on his way out. There he goes.
Oh, but a trade.
But
very good trade.
He does take Merrills with him. That's a big kill for 07.
And the school bus is down.
Yes, indeed. That's going to free up MF to recap B.
And TCN goes down?
Wow, that's a bit of a shock. Where was he?
He was all the way wide flank with J-Mac.
Oh, he was the one over there on the 10 line?
No, on the 3 line. By A.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, we're also busy looking. This is a crazy battle, guys. I mean, there's so much going on.
Lots of damage here. I'm a little surprised to see these teams taking so much damage early. We were expecting a lot more conservative play, but man, a lot of ships dead here before even the halfway mark of the match. Well, 07 working on about a 30-point lead, but their points are not ticking up. They do not own any caps. SF owns both caps. Currently, they're taking on the board, and they're going to catch 07 here in just seconds.
Yep, and Seafoam has positioned himself quite nicely here, just south of C, so that if there's any kind of push at C, he can just slap him.
It looks as if they're going to send Pullicat back to B to cap. They've rotated MF now to the north of C to make sure that if they dip a destroyer into C and he's spotted, he's not a one-shot kill.
Seafoam is now taking some shots over the island from the enemy Hindenburg.
Yep, it looks as if BFK's for life's... Or no, I'm sorry. Caliber?
I'm guessing Caliber.
Yep, BFK's too far away on the other side of the map.
Oh no, that was somebody else that was shooting him.
Yep.
Huh.
Pullicat realizing that B is open, but he's being very cautious about how he approaches it. I think he's afraid. He knows if he gets spotted, he's likely to just be right out. Anybody who shoots at him will just wipe him out. MF Jones poking his nose into the northern of the cap, spotted by planes now as his AA starts to go. But the Hindenburg and Montana over there have no shots at him. It's going to be up to Rhino to get shots on him if Rhino's over there. Where is Rhino?
Rhino is south of B. I was just going to comment, I love this. He's already predicting that Pullicat is going to go B, and he's already torped the channel from the north end of B, expecting him to be there.
Well, here come the torps. They've just been spotted. But Pullicat is not going to take those. He is well back, just barely about to edge his way into the cap circle. It looks as if MF will pick up C on behalf of 07. I don't think they're able to do anything about it.
We might see Pullicat go down here.
Pullicat under fire now from Rhino. That will take him off the board, but here comes the retaliatory torpedo strike from Anumati. And Rhino, of course, spotted in the middle of B now. Anumati splitting the torpedo bombers, hoping to get the cross drop here as a brilliant strafe comes in from V12 and wipes them all off the board.
Very nice job. Wow,
well
that
done.
is teamwork right there, guys.
Excellent reaction from the SF carrier there.
Meanwhile, Charlie gets taken.
MF Jones picking up C on behalf of 07 as SFKJ opens their lead to a little over 200 points on the back of an additional kill and their cap control.
Now, where's your Montana that was last spot on the 8-9 line?
He is still on the 8-9 line, literally
yep.
right on the split. It's William the Dank.
Yep,
headed south. I'm assuming that they're going to push these guys in C. I don't know this. It just looks like they might be setting up for something like that.
That's why I was asking. I had a feeling that was about to come because Achilles is kind of stuck right now at the south part of the island. Seafoam at least has gotten out and he's able to maneuver.
Grows away Montana and Hindenburg at A. Presh putting a tremendous amount of pressure on Not Yet Dead, the SF Montana on the south side of the cap as J-Mac, excuse me. No, J-Mac, there we go. Retreats from A, not really having any shots to back up his teammate right now. Looks like the Potato 69 realizing that Montana can't stop him. He looks like he might rotate in and try to cap A on behalf of 07. Taking a bit of a torpedo strike here. A lot of AA going off. Potato and Ruslan Bears Montana right there.
Ooh.
This torpedo's going nowhere.
Ruslan just took a decent hit from the Montana.
He did. He had to open up just a bit to avoid the torpedo bombers coming in. 07 realizing they need another cap. And they also need to pressure somebody off the board and get a kill if they want to make up some of these points. Collectively, they've still... Go ahead.
I have a feeling Not Yet Dead is about to be dead, and...
I believe so.
So that's going to leave J-Mac to fend for himself over there and try to burn down the Montana, which he can definitely do.
Yep. Rhino's almost kind of needed in both places at once to help his team, but he can only be in one spot.
Yeah. Losing Merrill's definitely hurt them.
Yeah, they're two. When you only bring 2 destroyers and you lose them both, you lose one early. That definitely hurts.
Yeah.
Big AP shells coming in now on Potato as he's spotted on the top end of A. Big hit there from Not Yet Dead, who's only on 500 HP himself. And there he goes, out for good now.
Well, he did take the candy cane camo.
Potato starts to refresh his cap points once again as Anumati's fighters driving off V12's bombers here at A. A quick strafe, but here come the bombers back in to try and get the spot on Potato. So J-Mac can try and reset his points again. Shells inbound. They get the reset.
I was just going to say, take a look at B, and we just saw that William the Danks Montana just came in from the back and told Rhino to go back to port.
Oh, wow, I missed that. Great shot by William.
Yep. He got forced out, he got forced to smoke, and that was all she wrote.
07 now apparently realizing that it's not worth risking Potato now that there are no surviving SF destroyers. They are pulling him out. He's going to smoke right there on the edge and probably reverse back into the cap on about 1,300 HP, but he's hanging on by his fingernails.
6 minutes of play remaining. Anybody's game still, but definitely the advantage going to 07.
Well, on the back of their surviving destroyers, they're about to have almost total control of the cap circles, which is going to really force SF to have to make a play they may not want to make. J-Max Hindenburg over here on the 2 line under a tremendous amount of pressure from both a Montana and a Hindenburg. He has to pull back.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to, though. It's too
close.
close.
Survive the experience. MF Jones picking up B, Potato 69 working on A here as we approach 5 minutes to play here in Game 1.
Now, Ruslan went behind the island, which actually frees up J-Mac a little bit for maneuvering and definitely decreases the amount of fire coming his way for a little bit.
Yep, Ruslan getting his guns flipped around. He looks like he's going to turn back to the east so he can continue to pour shells on J-Mac.
He's going to have to do something just to at least stall their advance.
You know, if you're 07 right now, you've got to feel really good. You've got to look at the map, realize you're about to have all the caps, and you just have to not play dumb and not die, essentially. MF Jones spotted now in this narrow channel between B and C, popping his DF to drive off V12's torpedo bombers.
And look at those things melt.
Ooh, torpedoes going in. Those torpedoes going in now on Achilles' Montana. They're spotted, of course, but
no, they're not.
Be able to dodge them all. They're not spotted.
No, they were not spotted. So that DF was huge because it forced those planes away, and we see Achilles taking 2 on the bow.
Takes 2 on the bow. The lone surviving SF battleship, very low on health here with only 4 minutes to play. 07 having total control with the cap points.
J-Max going down, 1K, that's it.
Yeah, J-Mac will be out shortly here. The shells are on their way. There he goes. Ruslan bagging himself a Hindenburg. Achilles turning to try and get into B, but spotted and plenty of shells on their way to him.
As soon as he's on fire, that's all.
You have to figure it's only a matter of time before they get him.
Oh yeah. Now in ranked, this would be the save a star maneuver.
Indeed. You know, I gotta say, this is not over yet, but it looks really, really strong for 07. I think they're going to get Achilles here, and that should probably seal the deal. I just don't. I mean, there's no way that Seafoam is going to be able to to bring this back from the brink. SF's surviving battleship now gone as they close almost within 100 points of victory with 3 minutes to play here on Sea of Fortune. Well, I got to say, you know, I really feel like the key differentiator in this game, Zath, was the fact that 07 brought an extra destroyer, and the fact that they kept them alive longer. That triple Grozavoy comp working out well for them as Seafoam goes down as well.
Yeah, that was dirty. That was a dirty hit.
It was as if the game was in any doubt anyway. That will definitely seal the deal. A convincing win here for 07 in game 1.
Absolutely. And I would agree with you. The key here was the destroyer disadvantage and the lack of smoke. And it almost feels like, you know, with the smoke change, there's thoughts of, you know, maybe the smoke isn't as important as it has been in previous seasons. But still, that smoke was desperately needed on the Moskva at the beginning, and it didn't come.
Well, and some of that's because you've only got 2 destroyers, and they're busy capping. You know,
Yep.
so yeah, the 07 definitely punishing out of that ship choice, I suppose, for lack of a better word. Maybe more or less choice and more position of that Moskva early, and making that work for them. So hats off to them. Good game to both teams as we go up 1-0 for 07. I'll get my graphics updated here. All right, we'll be moving to Islands of Ice next. All right, so I have good news. I got some codes.
Oh, cool.
So I'm gonna snag about 5 of these, and I'm gonna ship them over to you. But remember, we got more games to cover today. So here's what we should do. I'm gonna give away one next game, myself, and then I'm gonna save probably the other ones for the semifinals.
Sounds good.
If we go to a game 3 in this match, I might sneak one in there too, just to make sure I get them all out. Let me PM these to you. In other match action, MIAC is 1 up on Cuter. They have taken game 1 in that particular match. That's looking good for you, Zath. We're neither one of us looking very good in this match so far. 07 kind of made us look like idiots, didn't they? Don't have any other results from other games just yet. Of course, Quadrilis is streaming PSV and OPG, but I do not see results posted from them. All right, let's see. Let's get back to port. Have a check of the room. We need carriers this time. Yep. Hold on a sec.
Nice job.
All right. So if you go into, did you get a MooBot thing done? Did you have one of those made? Okay. So at the bottom there's just there should be a raffle window, right? So if you go to your MooBot interface for, twitch.moobot.tv for your thing. You need the web interface for MooBot, right? You've got that open. Scroll down, be a raffle window, right? Hit open. There you go. Now anybody in your chat tent window can type !raffle and they'll get an entry. And then when you're ready, you close it, you hit the close button and hit the draw button. And for those of you guys on my channel, you know what? I'll go ahead and open mine up as well. We'll get this raffle going. I will close it. It will close for you. I will close it at the end of the battle on the stream for me, but it will close for you on the stream at the halfway mark of the next game. So you have about 10 minutes into the game to get your entries in. Type !raffle and we'll get you entered in for 10 for the win camos and a Restless Fire flag. All right, still getting set up done here as we await the next battle on Islands of Ice. We keep seeing this map. I'm really curious to see how these teams deploy. A on this map is universally reviled by most players. It's almost a trap to get caught up at that end of the map with that little narrow gap to come down into B. Everybody in the world knows where you're going to be, or you have to go the long way around to get into B. I'm curious to see how these guys handle it, what positions they set up, if they send any forces up there at all, or if they just blow it off.
Absolutely. Also, just a quick repeat because I realized my mic was on mute on my end. But if you have the ability to do so, hit !raffle and we'll get you some codes. Now, in competitive, both teams usually have about 10 minutes of time between matches, and we, in the past, haven't seen teams take that time, but I have a feeling they're going to take the full 10 minutes today.
I suspect so. It gives them the chance to talk about what they just saw, any adjustments they want to make. Do they want to change players? Do they want to change ship compositions? Most of these guys have spent time well before the match deciding what kind of general strategy they want to take on a map, but they may decide to change individual players or ship choices.
Absolutely.
We're already seeing some of that on the SF side, actually.
And that's one of the important things is that the map itself has its own, you get people that just go bonkers into figuring out what's the best composition to have. But then you have a game like that last one where 07 just handily, defeats SF, and SF's got to look at that and say, you know what? Is what we were planning right?
Also true. I mean, you've got to make an adjustment based on what you had intended to do, based on what you just saw out of your opponent.
And I mean, you and I have both been through this in previous seasons, so we've kind of lived this, right?
Yep, absolutely. All right, looks like we're just about ready. Everyone's queued up. I'm curious to see what that team lineup looks on SF side. They changed at least 2 players.
Well, I'm not sharing.
I know you're not. I don't expect you to until we drop. We're waiting right now. We're in the lobby. For those of you that aren't familiar with the new training room, in the old training room, you could actually see the opposing team before the game dropped. And it meant that in Supremacy League, we had very specific rule sets about once no one's allowed to leave. You're certainly not allowed to change ships based on what you see out of your opponent, so on and so forth. In the new training room that Wargaming has provided us, once people were sorted into teams, you see that they're ready, but you don't see what their ship choice is. So that's definitely an interesting change.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Aha! Here we already see some of that adaptation from SF we were talking about.
I think so. Rhino's still choosing that Grozavoy, though.
That worked out really well for him last game. I think he'd
Absolutely.
be a fool not to.
So what makes the Grozavoy different than the Gearing?
Much more AA.
Yeah.
The Grozavoy, those main battery, those dual main battery guns, those dual purpose guns she has as a main battery, just put out a punishing amount of AA fire, and then she has, I think, even more like a mid-range AA mounts than Gearing has. Gearing, of course, loaded with those 40mm Bofors guns that the U.S. Navy was in love with for most of World War II for AA, but Grozavoy, being a later build, a later destroyer, definitely goes farther than that.
Interesting to see at the beginning here some little chatter by the carriers discussing, I guess in a sense, their position. But both
I don't know
teams,
about you, but Anumati spawned way off by himself. Very strange spawn for this map.
yeah, V12 did as well. He's down at H1. Quick check to make sure that I am recording properly.
I don't normally show us syncing ourselves, but I'm going to go ahead and do it this game just to make sure I don't screw up and leave my match card up again. Remember, guys, you've got about 10 minutes from this point to get your exclamation mark raffle in to get your chance to win 10 for the win camos and a Restless Fire flag.
Agreed. Same thing on my side. We'll try this
Let's
out.
take a look at the deployment here. Anumati spawned way north. He's running south. We've got, of course, one Grozavoy. We've got Grozavoy, Montana, Hindenburg headed north to A from 07. Everyone else is heading south. Both Grozavoys, Des Moines, Montana, and Hindenburg. Nobody seems to want to go near B at all.
Yeah, and we see kind of all three caps pressure on this side here. A small group going to A, and it looks like the main body going to B and C. And this time, I'm the one that failed to flood.
I'm almost dead. I'll be out here in a sec. Some torpedo bombers early picking up one of the Hindenburgs down on the 8 line for SF.
Yeah, getting some early vision there.
Those torpedo bombers taking a tremendous amount of punishment. That Hindenburg AA doing work. Like he's going to try and sneak off a quick drop. Nope, doesn't make it.
Alright, and we are live.
Des Moines spotted, taking a pretty good-sized hit through the bow there. Timmy G, Polycat, and MF Jones pushing hard and fast for, looks like about G6. Looks like they're going to try and snuggle up to that island to the north of C that kind of segregates B and C.
Rhino forced to smoke up here at Alpha. He's probably going to get the cap, but there's a dive bomber squadron just waiting. Anumati knows what he's doing.
I see that. Probably also making sure he doesn't torpedo out of the smoke. There's torpedoes going into that smoke. Potato 69 just launched some torpedoes up in C7. They'll be coming in that way very short. As we see now SF getting into all 3 caps early here on Islands of Ice.
Rhino saying FU planes. And backing out just to get a little bit more vision. That's very risky.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see what he does with these torpedoes. Potato 69 sneaks into A just in time to pause Rhino's cap.
Oh no.
Here come the torpedoes into the smoke.
Takes one big hit.
Anumati's just waiting now for that smoke to dissipate. He knows Rhino's in there. He knows Rhino's taking a torpedo.
And he knows his DCP is down.
And he knows his DCP is down.
Knowing Anumati, he might just drop anyway.
There. See those bombers going away as SF picks up B, basically uncontested. Merrill's spotted now by planes as he runs out to the northwest corner of B, but damage is already done. Points already ticking for SF. Double bomb drop on Potatoes. Grozavoy there on the very, very edge of A, but he's got Hindenburg close quarters backing him up. Both of them not sending many of those bombers home happy.
Yep, Rhino's got to get out.
Now Rhino's smoke is out in A, but they have no way to spot him. No planes available. Down south, we've got Timmy G has snuggled up close to this island. He is in G6, making love to this thing as Pulicat turns and heads south into C. MF Jones already in C, contesting it on behalf of 07.
Wingspan manages to evade those torpedoes. Not a problem for him. Now we see some blind fire coming in. Whoa!
Takes a bit of a hit.
Radar?
Spotted in smoke. He must be radared by somebody. Must be Des Moines radar picking him up in that smoke cloud, driving him out of the cap. There he goes as MF Jones starts flipping C on behalf of 07. Rhino spotted now on the very edge of A. Turning out of the cap, giving up those cap points. Rhino on a little about 40% health there. As William the Dank, Potato, and Caliber moving in to secure A on behalf of 07. A big torpedo strike coming in now. Looks like it's getting split. Can't really tell. Looks like some are going to Caliber's Hindenburg and some are going to Potato's Grozavoy.
No, they're all going to Caliber.
A pair. Nope, they are all going to Caliber. He's going to ERD-8 too. Looks like he's going to dodge the last one. He is good.
Yep. It's a very aggressive play by V12 there. You're going into 3 anti-airfields, 2 of which have defensive fire. Probably.
Indeed. Timmy G's position here, right to the south of B and north of C, is just brilliant. He is able to lob shells. No one able to really get shells back in on top.
It's absolutely dominant.
Yeah, very, very good. He's got radar on both caps actually from that position. So now that we've seen him,
Pink Assassin.
Big hit on Pink Assassin. That has to have been.
That was Montana.
Rusland Bears, Montana again doing great work here on Islands of Ice. Now Pulicat has stuck close to Timmy G this whole time. He's laying smoke for Timmy now, and with C under the control of 07, it would not shock me to see Poli rotate north and try to cap B, especially with that Des Moines radar backing him up.
Agreed.
07 still down points here, but closing the gap quickly on the back of their cap advantage. No team has lost ships with about 7 minutes into the game.
Yeah, although definitely healthier than SF here. Caliber seems low.
Caliber's pretty low.
And I'm guessing he's over on the 9 line on the south?
Caliber? No, Caliber is the Hindenburg up at A.
That's right.
Hammered by that torpedo strike. He's healing right now. He's turning back behind William the Dank's Montana, getting some island cover there so he's not spotted and trying to stay out of sight.
Yeah, Pink's probably going to go down here. He's trying hard to dodge these salvos.
Kind of as predicted now, we see Pulicat reversing. He's in G6, reversing north, going to try and set his stern into B and start putting additional pressure on SF to make a play.
Yeah, not yet dead, just happens to be there, so that'll be interesting to see what happens.
Timmy G's already getting his guns turned around to support anything that Pulicat might spot in B.
Achilles seems very far away. Looks like he's kind of reversing into the area of action. Pink Assassin got away, but here come the bombers. Wait, no. It's hard to tell if Animati is trying to keep Wingspan honest, or if he wants to...
Pink Assassin is very low. They have to be pinging the map, trying to get him off the board.
Well, that was my thinking, yeah. Even if they suicide the squadron, get a couple more hits on him.
Well, the squadron was suicide. Pink healing now. Continuing to take incoming fire from both Hindenburg and Montana. Pulicat, as predicted, into B now. Just kind of chilled out, waiting.
And Not Yet Dead is reversing away from B cap.
Timmy G's guns looking that way, hoping to spot something worth shooting at. As 07 moves in front, just by a few points now, stopping all incoming point gains from SF.
This is interesting. SF has won just about every season of Supremacy League, and we might see them go down here right now in the next.
I'm not calling it too early, man, but they don't look. They're under a tremendous amount of pressure early. A torpedo strike going in on Potato 69's Grozavoy and smoke. I don't think those are going to connect for very much. As Pulicat picks up B, Potato is clear. He should not eat any of these torpedoes.
Yeah, Rhino is incredibly low. That torpedo bomber squadron got defensive fired away.
07 now owning all 3 caps and just pushing SF away from the very cap circles they need to contest.
Yep, here comes
Early
some
patience paying off for them.
torps from Enamati. I think these were long-range drops.
Looks like he landed at least one.
Yep, he got one. And Not Yet Dead is flooding and on fire. 3 places. Maybe 2.
Yep. Pulleycat smoking Timmy again, as Timmy looks like he might be reversing a bit to get shots on Merrills, who he knows is headed back into B. He was spotted just a few minutes ago. Moments ago, I should say.
And Ruslan now taking some torps, but not caring, because obviously they're hurting these guys away from the caps.
Yep. Looks like Rhino's back in A again, contesting, holding those points down.
Yeah, but he's in a world of hurt there. He's only at 1700 HP, and he's going to take a torp and die.
Ooh.
Boink.
Potato landing a big torp at A, cementing that destroyer advantage once again for 07. Now, Potato himself is not super healthy. He's on about 5k or so. Almost 6. As they're focusing down Not Yet Dead here, as he heads down towards C. Pulleycat just shelling him happily as he chugs to the north here on the edge of B. More AP shells coming in on Pulley. See how the aim is. Pretty good hit. About a quarter of Pulley's health vanishes in that salvo, but Not Yet Dead continuing to fall here as he comes under fire from the 07 forces in C as well.
And a torpedo bomber squadron.
Yep, under fire. Torpedo strike coming in. Big strafe. Nope, but it never matters. BFK takes care of him before he gets to that point. Merrills gets into B.
Notice how far, by the way, Enamati dropped those torpedo bombers. He's staying out of the middle range anti-air bubble. And really good accuracy for that distance.
Merrills now dunking his toes into B, trying to stop the bleeding as 07 has a 400-point lead here on Islands of Ice. Pulleycat moving into B to contest and continue to shell him as Merrills is spotted by planes. TCN's Hindenburg snuggle up to an island here at A. Yep. No one has shots on him as all the 07 forces there have retreated. Ooh, Achilles bags a big kill with Ruslan going down at C.
Yep.
And Pink Assassin's still alive. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Big airstrike going in up here north of A as TCN bags A on behalf of SF. Merrill's still sitting in B, holding those points back.
Yeah, I think Enamati's going to go fishing. Yep.
Big bomber strike here, coming in on William the Dank and Caliber. William taking 2 torpedoes. Pieces of Pizza's Hindenburg also in the A cap now, as we know TCN is in there. So 2 SF Hindenburgs in the A cap up north.
Yep, more fish coming from Pulleycat.
Merrill's spotted in smoke. Timmy gets his radar off.
Yep, saw that coming.
Yep. Torpedoes crawling up his stern. Merrill's dodging the torpedoes, but still under incoming shell fire. He's got to keep moving.
Yep. And what you guys are seeing here, that's it.
There he goes.
Those torpedoes were meant to just hold him in place while he got shot from everybody else.
07 now, again on a 400-plus point lead here on Islands of Ice with 7 minutes to play. Now, if you're SF, what do you do in this position?
The only thing you can do, you push. As you look at Achilles down here, Wings fan, they're trying to get together, but Wings is going to take a torp. Nope. Oh, just went underneath.
A push at C would certainly help them. They need some. They need a kill. Actually, they probably could stand for 2 quick kills. But with all the forces at B gone, that frees up Pulley and Timmy G to now push into C to support their teammate. Big rumble at C about to happen here as SF realizing they need to push.
And we see Timmy get smoked by Pulleycat. Those two, I gotta say, hands off, working well together.
You're Achilles, man. You can't push a Hindenburg. He'll just torpedo you.
Well, we're about to see him try.
Here come the torps from BFK. Achilles gonna dodge that first salvo.
Oh, he took one.
One at the bow. Second salvo on its way. Looks like 2 more will connect. That takes care of the starboard torpedoes, but yep, Timmy G taking care of Pink Assassin at last. as 07 moves within a hair's breadth of victory here on Islands of Ice.
Yeah.
Achilles looks as if he's dragging bottom on this island. He's not really able to move. His velocity all gone. Getting pummeled now by several ships, showing them full broadside to a Grozavoy and a Des Moines. 2 Grozavoys and a Des Moines.
Yep, as BFK gets his other torpedoes ready to go.
Yep, flips and gets the port torpedoes off. That's going to do it for Achilles, and that should end this game. Well, not quite, but man, it all but ends this game.
Oh yeah,
07 on within 30 points, a convincing, solid victory in both games over SFKJ. Unbelievable. I don't know about you, Zath. I have to call that an upset. I mean, just because of SF's history in the tournament.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm shocked as you are. I'm sure just how handily both games were just controlled by 07.
I think, to me, the more shocking thing is not that they won, it's that they won, and I'm going to be a bit of a jerk. This is going to sound awful. They made it look easy.
Yeah.
I mean, look how few ships they lost. Look how much punishment they dealt out to an SF team that has just years of experience playing together in these kinds of events. And 07, just like I said, making it look easy, which, it isn't. These guys are excellent players, but man, wow, just a convincing victory here on Islands of Ice.
Absolutely. I mean, hats off to them. They clearly outplayed SF both times, and definitely are a force to be reckoned with moving forward.
I'd say so. I don't know who's going to win ZR and QP, but based on what I just saw, I have to make 07 the favorite in that matchup.
Absolutely, and I'm kind of jealous that you get to stream from their side again.
We can switch for the next game. We'll figure it out.
No, it doesn't matter. I don't care. But I mean, it's exciting. I'm excited to see what happens moving forward. So in this case, we saw SF switch up to 3 destroyers, and they tried to match 07's use of destroyers in a sense. But from my perspective, it looked to me like there wasn't as much teamwork going on between the cruisers and the destroyers with smoke. Versus 07, we saw several times now Polecat coming in and smoking Timmy G.
Indeed. Timmy G and Polecat, man, that position and the way they work together, just brilliant. You can tell those guys have worked together, doing good work, and know each other, know how to react, know how to play. Brilliant. Just well done. All right, I'm going to close my raffle here. Let's do a draw. All right, we have a winner. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. It's ridiculous. Blah, 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 or some garbage like that. But I'll be sending you a code momentarily for some free stuff, and we'll get going. Let's go see if we can look at the round 3 result. All right, Cuter ties it up. MAIC and Cuter going to a game 3. Zath, we have another upset in the quarterfinals, my friend.
Excellent.
PSV 2-0 over OPG.
Oh, say it ain't so.
It is so. So you get that one, buddy. You called 2-1, but you still called it right. Well played to them.
Oh yeah.
We both blew this prediction.
Yeah.
Not really knowing what to expect out of 07. Then, like I said, they just made it look easy. MIC Cuter going to a game 3, and then what are QP and ZR doing? I don't think anybody's casting that game.
All right, so I'm gonna now close my raffle, right?
Yeah, you just hit close and then hit draw, and then you can announce. You can literally just send that into chat by pressing announce winner in the chat. Makes it easy.
All right, now that's interesting. So I closed the raffle, and it says could not draw anyone from the raffle.
Maybe nobody entered.
I had Tugboat, Kyogia, Mexilus, Puddin, Kulas, Ace Spartan. They all typed in exclamation point raffle.
You could also just do a user list raffle. See, there's the bottom of that one. This is chat raffle and user list raffle.
Ah, good.
You can also just do user list raffle, and it'll just draw somebody randomly off the people currently in the chat. So
all
just
right.
do that.
I will do that, absolutely. And it goes to Brofisticus.
Wait a minute. He won something last weekend, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
No, okay.
I gotta remember now.
It doesn't matter. New day, new rules.
Or maybe what I should... I could also, I was gonna say I could also just keep re-rolling until somebody who actually typed raffle wins. Maybe I should do that.
All right, so let's see. PSV moving on. MIC are going to get. We still don't know anything about QP and ZR, and nobody's casting that game, to my recollection. Let me go have a check here.
All right, we got ourselves a winner here. We're gonna go with Killa Maximus, who did type raffle in there. I know Brofisticus yesterday said he didn't want a code, so Brofisticus, I hope that's okay with you. But we're gonna go with Killa Maximus. Congratulations, sir. Now we got some time, Raptor. Did you want to try to follow through with Cat's suggestion? Find someone to pull in and interview?
We can. I tell you what, Zath. I'm gonna leave that to you because I'm taking care of a couple other things. So if you want PM, MF Jones, or Pullicat or somebody, and see if they want to come join us and talk to us for a few minutes. Because I don't mind. I like the idea. I think it's a good suggestion. Sorry, guys, we're taking care of some admin stuff in the background. When you're running a live tournament like this, there's a lot going on, so we'll be a little quiet for a few minutes as we take care of a couple of things. I apologize.
For those of you guys following the streams as well, we may be bumping up our times a little bit here since things are going fast.
Indeed, I have. I saw that note from Voss, so we'll see what happens. But it looks as if some of these earlier games are finishing up a little quicker than they had anticipated. We may be moving the semis up a little bit. We'll keep you guys apprised of that. Right now, Zath and I are scheduled to start the semifinal round at 5:20 p.m. Eastern. That's still not for an hour and 15 minutes. We're trying to find out if there's a game 3 going. We know MIAC and Cuter are playing game 3 as we speak, but we do not know if OPG and QP and ZR are going to a game 3. That's what I'm trying to find out. If they are, I want to get us in on that one.
Sounds good. Meanwhile, MF Jones and BFK are both willing to join us, Raptor. So how do we set this up?
Sure. All we have to do really is just move to a room they can join us in. And I don't know if they can join us in here. Maybe they can. I'm not sure.
Are you guys good for me to drag people down?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you drag them in here, can they talk?
Yep.
Yeah, do it. Let's go.
Thanks, Maccabee. Good seeing you, by the way.
Yeah, thanks,
Good
man.
to see you too.
Hello there, Mr. Jones.
Hello.
All right, welcome.
BFK said he joined too. Just give him a second.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us.
No worries. Thanks for streaming.
Always, man. We love doing this. So I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I mean, you probably aren't surprised, but Zath and I are definitely a little surprised to see how handily those games were won. Like they weren't as close as we were anticipating. Do you feel like that the prep work you guys put in, or was it just kind of you took advantage of some misplays? What would you point to that really kind of sealed the deal for y'all there?
Really, it's just I guess we did do a lot of prep work. We've scrimmed a lot over the last 2 weeks. I mean, we kind of came in a little late. We didn't know if we were going to participate because it was such late notice, but a lot of the guys have given everything. We've scrimmed like every single day. We've talked about strats. Everybody's, putting their heads together, and it's really showing.
Awesome.
Anumati said he could join us too.
Yeah, let me get McCabe to do that. Zath, go ahead.
So I'm curious. You said you were doing an awful lot of prep work. Raptor and I having done competitive teams, we know that there's an awful lot of scrim time and stuff set aside. So I'm just kind of curious, who were you kind of trying to set up with, and how often were you guys scrimming?
Every day over the last 2 weeks, except for game day. Obviously, we tried to get some of the better teams to try to see what they're doing, try to gauge where we're at. But sometimes, we just take scrims with anybody just to get the reps in and get the practice.
Sounds great. The reason I'm asking, of course, with so many new teams this season, we're trying to pass on some kind of, I guess you could say, words of wisdom to some of these other teams to be thinking about how much prep work goes into this. I mean, you guys make it look so easy, as Raptor said, in a sense in the game, but I mean, clearly you guys had just stuff down to like the minute, timing wise, what you guys were doing.
Yeah, I got to admit it came together real well in these games. Hopefully, we can continue that. But you got, Kraken Jackers are no slouches. They made it a tough game. I mean, they still, like that first game, we were down 400 points, I think, at one point. I mean,
you were definitely down in game one because you guys gave up. They had 2 caps early, and you guys didn't have anything. But you kind of slowly worked your board position back, rotated Pulicat out of a position where he might get 1 shot, moved him back over to B, where he, of course, he ended up dying. But you don't know that at the time, and you guys really hammered the fact that once you got ahead of them on DDs, you were able to work that map control.
Hey there, sorry about that. Just took me a second to get in.
No worries.
Sorry, I was dealing with BFK. If you want to ask BFK, and he can field, a little something.
Absolutely. So BFK, you played Hindenburg in both games, yes?
Yes, that's definitely.
So this is going to sound really trite, but not everybody has the opportunity to play at this level or play in these kinds of these types of battles. Tell me why you guys take a Hindenburg over, let's say, a Moskva or another cruiser.
I just find the Hindenburg to be the most versatile ship in the game. It really doesn't have any weaknesses. It has the best HE penetration. It has the best armor. It has superior range. It has 12 guns. It has wonderful AA when equipped correctly. So yeah, I mean, I just think it's so versatile. It has great torpedo angles, great torpedo DPM. So it's an easy pick in my opinion.
Well, it warms my heart to hear you say this and to see people playing my personal favorite Tier 10 ship, because I've been an advocate of Hindenburg for almost 2 years now, and it seems like only in the last, pretty much since the big quarter penetration change to the German HE shells, that she's gotten a lot of love.
That's it right there. The quarter penetration, you can overmatch a lot of 50 mil plates with it. So that's the thing.
Awesome. Adumati, you finally got your mute button. Talk to us, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing today?
Doing all right. I got to turn you up. Hold on. I probably got to turn all 3 of you up. No, that's a quirk on my end when we bring people into Discord.
No, I actually got a new mic recently, so I'm a bit quieter than usual.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you sound a little different from when we talked before.
New mic.
Yep. So you guys, you had quite the battle there with V12, the midway on midway action. Both of you getting off some big strikes and some big strafes in particular. We saw at least a couple of really dirty ones from both sides. Why did you take Midway versus Hakuryu in this tournament? We're used to seeing you and, of course, Shokaku in typical Tier 8 Warship Supremacy League. Why Midway?
Because Midway is simply the better ship. I have almost 600 games in it. I've played it since closed beta. It is an amazing ship. Now with the recent buffs, yes, I'm going to lose planes. That's expected. It's Supremacy League, high AA environment. I go through the losses and I burn the planes like currency. The Midway is excellent at that. Even if Midway gets its nerf at Tier 9 planes, I'm still going to use it because it's superior. It's just better at applying damage, scouting. Sure, it doesn't have the fastest planes, but that's not what's important in this situation.
So basically, it's a factor of being able to, because of the high AA levels you're finding at Tier 10, it has to do with the fact that you can land, like you can send in a strike, you're guaranteed to get something out of it in terms of, as opposed to possibly getting them all wiped out before they can drop the way you might with Hakuryu bombers.
Oh, of course. Also, the fact is AP bombers. Like, I've noticed the EU teams, they have a heavy Hindenburg meta, or those screenshots I've seen. I've been so busy. I got off work not long ago. And a lot of these teams, the only ships that are really vulnerable are Moscas, Des Moines, and like the back of a Minotaur. And those are crucial ships for teams. And you put those in the right spot, and they will cut out half the map for the carrier. The Midway has the power to flip the table, and like you can bait a Des Moines. And if you get those AP bombs off, you're going to chunk the Des Moines or just kill them outright. It is a very strong threat. A
Yeah,
very good ship.
we've definitely seen that out of some of the Midway players. We watched 3FM do that to one of STW's Des Moines in back in the group stage. Like he was just there, camped out, happy, and 2 bomber squadrons later, there was no more Des Moines.
Yeah.
Yep, that tends to happen. 3FM is a very good CV player.
Absolutely. So definitely it's a factor of the AP bombs, the stronger squadrons, and then now you talk about the fighters. You've only got 2 squadrons. How does that play out for you? Like you lose some of that flexibility of having the extra squadron you're used to from possibly an AS hack. Yes.
No, not really, because the AS hack just falls apart. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna lose fighter squadrons, but at the same time, I can I can stand to lose the fighters. Like last game, I was out of fighters, but I was still providing full scouting because I had so many planes. I have over 30% more planes than a Hakuryu's 100. It is outstanding for long-term games for providing scouting.
So spending them like water, then it's just part of it. Like you said, you spend them like currency. It's just part of playing CV in this format.
Mhm.
I hope the CV rework changes it, but who knows? Like the Movska earlier, I was suiciding planes left and right, but he was alone. He had no defensive fire. He had to die. He was a linchpin to SF3 strat. And if I kept him spotted, even though I was losing planes, we were going to win. And once he died, we kind of snowballed them. Props to SF3. It is amazing playing against a team I've played with so long. I love those guys. They're awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the comments that I had made at the beginning when I saw you on the 07 lineup, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be interesting. You know all their secrets.
Even then, I'm still going to respect them. I don't tell SF3 secret strats or anything like that. Just that they're highly adaptable, like as anyone else knows.
Well, I mean,
Well,
even if you did, I mean, it's a tier 10 first of all, and it's a totally different setup.
That is
Well, and
true.
we saw some of that. They came into that first game with 2 destroyers. You guys, I won't say punished that composition necessarily, but it didn't work out to them. They weren't able to react as well to the fact that you guys had the extra destroyer. And then in game 3, they mirrored you. They went to 3 destroyers as well, and yet you guys seem to be ready for that too.
Yes. I will say the skill of the players on 07's team is quite terrifying, to be honest. If I was fighting them, I'm kind of glad I'm on 07's team at the same because BFK has.
I can't
Because
argue this.
they are able to nail destroyers at ranges that just makes my oh no.
Yeah, I can't argue this. I've seen you guys. I've seen you guys in clan battles, in randoms. Believe me, we're all well aware of the quality you guys bring to the table. Trust me.
Absolutely. I have a question for you guys, for you all 3 of you 07 members, or anybody who wants to chime in. But how is this season going compared to clan battles? Are you noticing an awful lot of similarity here, even though clan battles had no carrier?
No similarity.
Rip in peace carriers.
If there's small similarities to the SL, but it's a completely different ballgame.
Yeah, I'm a proponent of I think we enjoyed last year's Clan Wars or last season's because of the lack of carrier. We were able to pull out quite a few silly, unconventional strategies that caught a lot of teams off guard. I mean, I don't know if other people know, but we were pretty much the only team to run the entire season without a destroyer. We ran 6 cruisers and a battleship, and we had the highest win rate in, I think, Typhoon 1. So doing it unconventional strat, but it allowed us to be very creative and our callers to be very flexible. With carriers, I feel with the perfect information that a carrier provides, it kind of waters down what you're allowed to do and how creative you can be. There's kind of a set meta, we'll say. But
Plus, there's the 9v9 versus 7v7 setup too, so there's more people on the board you have to worry about, right?
correct. The double battleship creates crossfire opportunities that aren't available or don't present themselves with a single battleship. So
Sorry, I'm trying to do a little bit of stuff in the background here.
Take your time.
Well,
So,
go ahead. Go ahead, Zach.
well, I was just gonna to kind of try to drill down deeper into your ship choices and your compositions. You guys chose to go with 3 destroyers, I believe in both games, and you were heavily focused on the Grozovoy and the Hindenburg and the Des Moines. So why not some of the other ships?
Jones.
Well, I mean, it's all about map control and combined AA. I mean, if you can shoot down planes that are spotting you and allow your planes to spot, you're gonna win. You're gonna win that spotting battle eventually. With the Hindenburgs, it's just DPS. Obviously, the Des Moines is that kind of linchpin where you put them in a good spot where you can get radars off maybe and just club planes.
Sure.
If I'm able to support BFK, like he is almost unstoppable. Like if I give him proper support, like it's really hard to kill a Hindenburg. It's kind of silly.
And I mean, I've been saying it about the Graz since the Graz came out. When tier 10 CVs competitions come, the Graz is going to be the ship to pick because it melts everything. You let the planes come within 3.5 or whatever the detectability by air is, and they can't run away. You're killing everything if you pop your defensive fire.
Sure.
Yep.
Jones has been one of the few proponents of Grozovoy, and he's been touting the ship for God knows how long.
And they keep buffing it because everybody thinks it's bad.
All of us have kept telling the ship is junk, has no place in the game, and lo and behold, I mean, it's very effective.
It is
so
terrifyingly effective. The one thing though, it is very weak without it. If you can bait it correctly,
it is.
I can kill it easily enough if I bait it.
And it's like a gearing in the sense that it's big, fat, and slow. So if you can get clubbed by battleships.
Back when before they announced clan battles and the format and everything, I ground out a Grozovoy before I ground out a Khabarovsk because I realized, having played all that Supremacy League stuff, that if they put CVs in there, the Grozovoy was going to be a very, very strong ship, and I wanted one. And then they announced clan battles, like, oh no carriers, and I was like, thanks, jerks.
Worst part is there are test CVs in the client.
Yeah.
But yes, Grozovoy is an amazing ship, and I am surprised if it gets any more buffs.
The only bad thing is we don't get to use our guns, which are, for the most part, great still. Like
RDDs are not allowed to use their guns.
That takes me back personally to last season of Supremacy League when I was with the APOC guys, and it's almost a very boring game, right? Because you're just sailing back and forth and dropping your smoke and setting off defensive fires when jerks like Anumati try to kill you.
Yep. Jerk confirmed. Confirmed.
Wow,
Confirmed.
so neat. I'm gonna go cry.
We call him a jerk all the time as well. So.
All right, so I want to check out something real quick while I've got everybody here. Are any of you guys your unit reps for the tournament?
Yeah, I got to go up there in a sec here.
Oh yeah, because Vas looks like he's trying to get together to get map selection done for semis. You guys are moving on to face ZR. They went 2 over QP, and Cuter and AMIC finally finished up. Cuter came out on top 2-1. So I get that one, Zath. Haha.
Yeah. Wow. Good job.
I know, right? And then so they'll be moving on to face PSV.
By the way, you guys are doing an excellent job. So thanks for all the time you guys take to do all this. It's wonderful.
Hey, no sweat. Thanks for you guys. I appreciate the kind words. I have to also give huge shout out to Quadrillus, who does our other kind of main streamer for Supremacy and then for this tournament. All the graphics work that you see, Quad does almost all of that from scratch.
Good stuff.
Have been provided. Yeah, it has. We have been provided some of it by WG for this tournament, but certainly for Supremacy League, he did all of it. I am not nearly as adept with Illustrator and Photoshop as he is, and so he does all of that. So he's brilliant. So thanks to him.
Absolutely.
All right, fellas. Well, I'm going to duck out. I look forward to watching your streams. Have a great day and have fun streaming.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, gents. Thanks for the interview.
Yep. Good luck with the rest of the tournament, fellas.
Thanks for having us, bro.
No sweat. All right. We had some quick interview there with 3 members of the victorious Devastating Strike team. That was Anumati, MF Jones, and BFK for Life here. And I've been chatting with Voss kind of a little bit in the background. It sounds like they might be accelerating the start time of semifinals, but they've got to get map selection done for both sets of matches before they can kick those off. So again, for those of you that aren't familiar with the tournament rules, the way this works is now that we're at semifinals, we've gone from best of 3 to best of 5. There are 7 maps in the rotation that are allowable maps for play in the tournament. What's going to happen is each representatives from each team is going to sit down. They're going to take one map off the list of 7 and ban it outright. That map will not be played in the event in this particular match. And then from the remaining 5 maps, each team will pick. One team will pick map 1, map 2, map 3, map 4. They'll alternate there. The remaining map will pick map. Remaining map will simply become map 5. And then the team that does not choose that particular map gets to choose which spawn they want on that particular map. The 5 maps, in case you haven't been, we've been cycling through them all, but in case you haven't seen them, they are for the tournaments.